Hello, my people, and welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another show. Welcome back to another live stream, and welcome back to a Premier League review, which we are doing for the games this weekend. And I have a special guest with me today, guys. I have a special guest. I've wanted to get him on the channel for some time, and it's finally happened. Listen, you know him. He's Some people say he has agendas. I think he's just telling the truth. And when he says it about certain people's teams, they get butthurt. You know, they don't want to. They don't want to hear the truth. They want you to lie because they want you to say what they want to hear. But he's a truthful guy, very knowledgeable, knows his stuff about football. So I want to welcome to the channel for the first time on his debut on the channel, Judge Mo. Mo, how's it going, brother?
I'm happy, bro, to be here with you. Make sure to like, if you're watching this on the replay, if you're watching us live now, make sure to hit that like button for us, subscribe to this beautiful channel. And then I'm here with my brother Saad, of course. And we're here to talk about football and Premier League. So let's do it. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
And you know what? A lot of channels have started on the Liverpool game, but I want because I know you have notes that you have notes that you put down, yeah. And I haven't really seen you talk much about the Arsenal game, so I do want to start off at the Arsenal game, given that this mainly on the channel there is Arsenal stuff that happens. I want to get your thoughts on the Arsenal game compared to the game that we had against Tottenham in the Premier League last.
Yeah, the Arsenal game, though. The Arsenal game was more fluid from Arsenal.
Mhm.
Bournemouth tried to actually press high. They did the same as they did against Chelsea. They like didn't sit back. They had like three. Solanke was staying very, way, way high. They didn't sit back. And Gabriel Jesus on that left side was the key to the Arsenal midfield to bypass that press or whatever you want to call it from Arsenal. I thought that Gabriel Jesus was absolutely alive on that left side. I have him in the notes and said Gabriel Jesus is the key for that
Yeah.
day, which is kind of he was all right against Spurs, but he wasn't as fluid. I thought that Gabriel Jesus, eh, to be honest, when I was watching the game with my eyes, I thought Gabriel Jesus was the man of the match, even though he didn't get a goal, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
But
I
he
did.
was the key for Arsenal to build everything because he was defending, blocking, and also building from the back.
Mm.
Uh, the fluidity, Saka was terrorizing the Bournemouth defense. And I'm not going to just sit here and say, like other people, it's Bournemouth. I'm going to tell you, Bournemouth against Chelsea, they looked all right.
Mm.
Against Arsenal, they looked like a championship team, which is what Arsenal were doing last year. They were sensational last year. They were making teams look weaker. However, they
Mm.
want to play football, they looked weaker. That Arsenal is the Arsenal we have missed. That Arsenal is the Arsenal that I called out in the beginning of the season. I said Arsenal don't look as fluid.
Mm.
But this game is a good sign that away from home, you can look as fluid and you can blow out our teams.
You
And the
know,
penalties are the penalties. You know what I mean? All of them are the correct ones. So
Mo, even on that one where you say we're fluid and the fluidity is there as well. The thing for me is that when we're playing in the game, I see that this for me this is the best performance I've seen from Arsenal this season. It looked like you said, the performances of old, the performances of last season that we were putting in. And listen, Dominic Solanke, I think that's his first name, is Dominic Solanke,
yeah, Dominic
and
Solanke.
um, and even Billing. Billing is very dangerous, man. That guy is very tall in the midfield and dangerous. So I don't listen. They tried their best. They created chances. There was one from Christie where he did a left foot shot and it should have gone in, but Raya with an amazing save there. He actually grabbed onto the ball and managed to hold it instead of parring it. Normally, a goalkeeper would par the ball out. He grabbed onto the ball and held it and managed to make the save. But I felt like the overall game for us, Odegaard was back. Of course, it's only Bournemouth. We would have really needed him to pull out a performance like this against Tottenham, but he was back. He was playing how he normally plays. Saka looked dangerous. Um, and Gabriel Jesus definitely off that left side. It looked much better. Looked more. He looked
Yeah.
more comfortable. You know how.
Yeah, but let's just be honest. AD, you actually were fluid, but I actually think that Kai Havertz and in Ketia. So I'm not going to just be an
Mm,
agenda against Kai Havertz. I thought that both of
mm,
them. Do you know when you have people that play music and I
mm.
feel like there is one in the orchestra that is not at the same level? I
Yeah,
actually think that Eddie Nketiah and Kai Havertz aren't on the same level of everybody else. And if people don't want to believe that, you can tell from just looking at how they touch the ball, looking at them on how they pass the ball. That's the thing. Zayn, yes, yes, and
look at
Hussam as well.
Hassam
You,
here as well.
yeah, you can tell that these people aren't on the same level. Arsenal fans don't want to
Mm,
say that because they want to back the signing. You know
mm,
what I mean? But it's the reality. If you had a better player yesterday than Kai Havertz, you would have won six.
mhm.
If Gabriel Jesus was a striker yesterday and Martinelli or Trossard was on the left, you would have won seven. That's the reality that people don't
Mo,
want to
wallahi,
believe.
I said this. I said this in my fan base. I was in spaces. I was telling them. I said I don't think that Hakai Havertz did good. Maybe when he scored that penalty, he might have raised his level a
That's
little bit.
penalty.
But yeah, I know. After he scored the penalty, he may have raised his level a little bit, but it's still not to the level that I require him to be at. And when Nketiah is there trying to do what he can, obviously he started the season well. He scored his goals and stuff, but you have to understand there's a certain level that we're playing at right now, and all the players have to be at that level. Last season, all of the players that first what was it first 6 games that we played,
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, Arsenal, everybody was on the same level. Jesus was up top. We had Granit Xhaka where Kai Havertz is. They were all performing at the top level. But when you have two players that don't perform at the top level, then you're gonna have times where the team has to rely on those players to keep their appearance or make their appearance known there, and they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. And Kai Havertz definitely, listen, when he plays in that midfield position, I've said this over and over again, I'll say it again. Kai Havertz is invisible when he plays in that midfield position.
It's
The
not good.
best
It's not good.
Mo, the two best times, the two times I've seen him and he's played that best or at his best from what I've seen is when he plays up top. When he plays up top, it looks like he's getting more involved in the game. He's passing, he's trying to help with the build-up play. He looks a bit more involved when he's up top. When you play him in that midfield position, it's just like he's not there. He's not there to really take the game by the scruff of the neck and make something of it. He gets into these positions and he makes the wrong decisions. It doesn't look comfortable in that position. I can understand if Arteta's trying to horseshoe him
No,
into
he's
it,
trying to make
but
this. Listen, he's trying. You know, when you get something and there's no return policy, you know, when you get a T-shirt or you get, and you get like, or you get like a pants or you get shoes, it's a little bit tight, but there's no return. You're past the return policy. It's exactly what it is. So Kai Havertz is something that you bought. It's a
yeah,
shoe. It's a little bit tight, but you're trying so hard to make it work
make
because
it
there's no
fit. Yeah,
returns. You're trying to make it fit. You know what I mean? You're trying to stretch it from here, stretch it from there. You know what I mean? That's what it is. That's what it
100%.
is. That's what it is.
Honestly, 100%, and it feels like he's just because Mikel Arteta. I've said this before, man. He's a stubborn guy, very stubborn. So he's made that signing off of his own back because it came
Yeah.
out. They don't even need the board didn't want to go towards Havertz. Arteta came out and said, "I want that player. I want Havertz." So you have to understand that he has to make it work. If he wants to show to the board, my decisions are good ones. When I make a decision, I'm making it for the
I
right
think
reason,
it's
even though it
past
costs
that,
money.
Sad. Sad. I think it's past that. It's past the board, and he wants to prove himself. Look, Arteta doesn't need to prove himself to the board. The board trusts him 100%. He doesn't need to. He already did that. Like, you know what I mean? When he challenged for the title, when he improved the players, he doesn't need to prove anything. I think it's something now that together they are trying to make that signing work.
Hmm.
And because the team is in harmony, I think is not hurting the team as much as long as you're winning.
Yeah,
When you start losing games, and he is the reason why you lose game, I'm gonna start asking him questions. I'm
yeah,
gonna start saying, listen, I said it in the beginning of the season, I'm saying shoehorning Havertz might be the reason Arteta fails,
hmm,
but it might not be the case. because I said that Arteta is finding solutions from other players.
Mm.
He didn't find it in the Fulham game. He didn't
Yeah.
find he didn't find actually he found it in the Fulham game when someone who was completely out of the picture, Fabio Vieira, came on, changed the game. So he
Mhm.
found the solution from nowhere. But against Spurs, I think he failed. I think that game was a winnable game for Arsenal based on before, but Spurs surprised you, and I think they did all right. So for me, I like he is trying to make it work. He is trying. He should have bought. Yes, I
Mm.
see the comments from people. He should have bought a better player. He made a
Mm.
mistake. He bought the tight shoes because it was. He made a mistake in the store. He bought the tight shoes. He's trying to make it work. There's no return. That's the
They,
thing.
and the thing is with Havertz, that's what pains me the most. You know, you could have bought a player like Madison for less than what we bought Havertz for. It's almost half the price, and you could have bought him, and he didn't. And that
He
just
wouldn't. He wouldn't. He
it
wouldn't have
is
fit. He wouldn't have fit.
no, he would. You play
No,
him, you
no,
play him in that left eight position. I promise you more.
no.
Wallahi,
He's
he would.
cool. The problem with him and Odegaard, I think you will need a box to box midfield. Listen, Sant. Xhaka last year was defensively as much as offensively. Madison is good. Is not the greatest. Like what I mean is that not the greatest. He is not gonna. He's not gonna go block a shot. He's not gonna run sprinting back trying to block a counter attack. He isn't gonna do that.
You know what two players would work in that system in that position? Frankie De Jong or Nicolo Barella.
Frankie De Jong would work. Nicolo Barella
Or
would
Nicola
work.
Barella.
Nicolo Barella,
Nicola Barella.
why would he
I've
leave
been
Inter to go
watching.
to
I've been
Arsenal?
watching him so much, so long. And listen, money talks.
Yeah,
You
but
pay him enough
you're
money,
not
he
gonna
will
pay
come.
that much money for him because his price is kind of similar to Kai Havertz's, a little bit less because he's not English. You wouldn't gonna pay too much like Havertz. You wouldn't gonna pay like Rice. You wouldn't gonna pay that much for him.
If
Inter would not have
if
accepted 60 million pounds. They wouldn't. They said no. They said we'll sit at the table for 85.
Fucking hell. See, that's
Oh,
just
yeah, this is the thing. But anyway, long story short,
that's
Arsenal look fluid.
yeah.
Sunday is the key for your success this year.
You know,
If you lose that game at home without Rodri, and I think the problem is, and we're going to talk about it on El Ahwa later, we're going to talk about it, and maybe it will come in my channel or Never Follow something. If you lose the game without Rodri,
a
Man
question.
City, Man City will think, we'll walk this league. Who
Hmm.
cares if we lost to Wolves? The rivals are not even good enough to beat us without our best player.
Yeah,
This is
that
it.
there's questions are gonna have to be asked.
Yeah,
If we
100%.
can't be, if we can't, if I go, they come to my home and I can't beat them. Yes, they don't have De Bruyne, who's normally very good against us, always laces up his boots and ready for that game. Yeah, they don't have Rodri, who is their spine. They're missing what's his name? The centre back. I forgot his
Who?
name.
Stones, John Stones.
John Stones. They don't have John Stones. He was a problem for us last season when they came to our ground. He scored the equalizer, I believe. Um, they don't have these players, and I don't beat them. I have to start questioning this team. I have to start questioning the mentality. I have to start questioning: do we have a mental block against this team where we just can't beat them? I don't know, because I can accept that the game against Man City away at the Etihad will be a difficult game because they will have the players back. But this game, there's no excuse. No excuse. Obviously, I won't get into it too much here because we're going to get into it later on Al Ahwa and maybe on Never Fall as well. But it's just there's questions to be asked if we don't win. But you know, moving on from the Arsenal game, I want to speak about the Man City game because moving on to Man City because I'll be honest with you, Man City losing against Wolves, it definitely shows a chink in the armor, you could say.
Yeah.
It shows that they have a weakness. If you can eradicate Rodri from a game, can you get at this City team? And can you possibly, if you put players on Rodri and you block him out of a game, then can that help your team win against them? because I feel like without Rodri on that pitch, listen, they had all of they had shots and they had possession, but that doesn't tell the story. Because I didn't watch the full game, but I watched it on Match of the Day. I watched the
So I
extended
did.
highlights and that.
So
But
I have a note here
mm,
that says Wolves didn't only play on the counter attack, they also tried to pass the ball and bypass the press. Thanks, Sufyan.
alhamdulillah,
They
alhamdulillah.
tried to bypass the press. I
Mm,
have it here. It's not only the capitalize on City's mistake. Everything I say about City and Pep Guardiola's systems is that because Rodri is not there, if you bypass that first wave of press that goes to get the ball right away,
mm,
you will be able to get a one-on-one, which is what happened on the right side. Even Semedo went over the top over Ake, the second goal, if you watch the
mm,
second goal.
yeah,
Now, City have Rodri and they had Stones. Last year, City had Stones and Rodri and they looked magnificent because that was blocked. Every counter attack, every
mm,
try to go by, to go through the press, they just blocked it.
yeah,
That's what happened last year. Now, yesterday when I'm watching the game, I thought that Wolves can, even though when Man City scored that free kick, I thought they actually, Wolves can get at this team. They
mm,
have holes that Ake and Pep Guardiola did not catch it. He didn't. He didn't catch it yesterday at all. He didn't catch it at all yesterday. So
mm,
for me, I thought that that showed a little bit cracks. And without Rodri, without Stones, I think this team is not going to struggle because they have enough firepower. I think it will be tough for them maybe to go to the Anfield and win. But again,
yeah,
Rodri is going to be back, and the team has so much firepower. That guy Doku is fantastic player. Nelson Semedo did a job on him yesterday. Doku as a winger had 70 something touches. Can you believe that?
mm,
70 something touches. That means everything goes through Doku.
mm.
But
But he's
Mo,
dangerous. He's
Mo Galban,
dangerous.
Mo Galban. When I called out Grealish last year and I said, yeah, he was pivotal to Man City, but Man City could have done with a better player. He told me you have an agenda.
Mm,
Same as when I said Rashford. Like, I'm not saying I'm right, but to be honest, Jack Grealish is good in keeping the ball, drawing fouls, and everything. But Man City could do with someone like Doku. Direct, dribbles, pass, shoots, everything is great. I
mhm,
like him. I actually said that it's an underwhelming signing, but I actually take it back. I eat my words.
mm.
The guy is brilliant.
Honestly, you know what? Yeah, he's because I thought coming from the French league, and you normally have somewhat of a you have to get used to the league.
Yeah,
But
100%.
since he's come in, he's confident. He wants to get on the ball. He wants to attack the defense. He's not scared to go or cut inside and take a shot. He's not scared, and players like that are dangerous because all it takes is for him to have one season and a few things to rub off on him from these other Man City great players that they have in that team, and all of a sudden you have a really dangerous player in your hands that has the capabilities of becoming world class. And for me, listen, since he's come in, Doku's been amazing so far. I can't lie to you, he's been amazing. But Mo, I just want to go to quick these two starred comments that I put down.
Yes.
So the first one is Haaland without KDB is not good. I would say Rodri is their glue to link the team. What are your thoughts on that?
No,
Because
I think guys, Holland had 8 goals, bro, without KDB. So that's not
exactly,
true.
I completely agree. I don't
Service,
think
service, you'll win the game.
I think at the start of the season, Mo, is when they had the problem because the rest of the team weren't really used to playing with a striker. De Bruyne looked like the only one who knew how to okay, assist Haaland,
Yeah,
and
100%.
get him into the
100%.
game. Now it looks like the rest of the team. They got Alvarez. They work very well together. Him and Alvarez. The rest of the team is getting used to having Haaland there. They can find him a bit better. It's not as bad as it was the first season when he came in. And then this one here from Zane that says they're relying on young Oscar Bob.
And they have a lot of injuries though, so we have to give them
How is good?
some slack. Yeah, we have to give them some. To be honest with you, it's not easy when you have all these injuries. By the way, it's not easy at all. They have a lot of injuries, tons of them. That it's not easy. Like if you have all these injuries, I'm gonna cut them some slack, to be honest. Like just I'm being honest here. I can't be shameless and say you're this, you're that when you have KDB injured, John Stones injured, Rodri has a red card, Bernardo Silva is injured, uh, Jack Grealish just came back. Like it's too much, too many injuries in my opinion.
you're
Especially in the,
being too kind.
I think in the front line they have so many injuries,
No, I think that team. I'm sorry, is good enough to go beat Wolves.
but they
Is good
weren't.
enough to
The
beat
fact is
majority
they
of the team.
weren't.
Yes, they weren't, but I think on paper that team is good enough. That team is good enough to go out there. They can beat Wolves. They can beat a lot of the teams in the world with that team. Let's face it. That team is very strong. If we look,
Maybe
if I
you're
look
right.
at the if no no because if I look at their
I'm looking
if
at the injuries list in front of me. I'm trying to get it. So
yeah if I look at their if I look at the team that they fielded yesterday, yeah, so they fielded Edison, Walker, Akanji, Diaz, Ake. That's normal backline anyway.
yeah,
Maybe the only player you're missing is John Stones, who normally he plays anyway as a not a DM but inverting. Then you got Mateus Nunes, which I think was the main thing that didn't work.
yeah,
Him as a
didn't
double
work.
pivot
Yeah,
with I think it was a double pivot with Kovacic, yeah, and it didn't work. It didn't work for them. Um, so Mateus Nunes, Kovacic, Foden, Doku, Alvarez, and Haaland. I think that team is still very good. I think it's good enough to beat a lot of teams. I can't really use injuries as an excuse for Man City just because of how strong their team is still, even with injuries there and players missing. Just for other teams, it hurts. For me, that would hurt me because my teams are such a drastic downgrade. The second team and the bench players are such a drastic
yeah, yeah.
downgrade. It, and same with Man United, same with Chelsea. Actually, Chelsea maybe their whole team is just around, but they still got a lot of injuries. But you have to understand. I don't think there's a massive downgrade when Man City lose players,
I
unless
hear
they
you. I
lose
hear
like
you. It's
second
I hear
players or
you.
something.
It's maybe you're right. Maybe
Hmm,
because I'm looking at their injury list. It's only Bernardo and KDB and John Stones are injured. That's not a
hmm,
lot. So yeah, I agree with you.
yeah.
So maybe he just
It was
fucked
the
up.
wrong decision. The Mateus Nunes thing was a wrong decision. Just put Calvin Phillips. Apparently, from what I hear from City fans, when Calvin Phillips came on, I think he came on at half time. He came on. He looked good from when he came on
Yeah.
at half time. Apparently, he looked good. I didn't
No,
watch
he
the game.
looked all right. It wasn't great. Just be
Yeah,
honest. Yeah, like he wasn't the greatest. I watched the game by the way. He wasn't the greatest. Yeah.
yeah. Now, fair enough. Fair enough. And then, listen, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. Um, we'll move on to the Liverpool game because I know we need to talk about that. We talk about it without Hassam here, and he's trying to prove to us how much they got dominated. I don't think. I think if we start with the actual game, the actual football, because we talk the actual football. I truly don't. I'm in agreement with you. I don't. Obviously, they played well. Liverpool played well. They defended well. I know Danny here is not happy. He says shake my head because he doesn't want to hear about it anymore. But
No, but the referee had the
in my
howler. Come on,
opinion,
just give me a second. The
the
referee
ref,
had the howler, bro.
of course, yeah, the
It
referee
was
had
a
the howl.
howler.
He ruined the game. He ruined the game.
Yeah, I
But
know. Just come
I
on.
don't think I don't think I don't think Tottenham played as bad as people are saying. In my personal opinion, I don't think they played as bad as people are saying. Yes, Liverpool are still a very strong team, and they were playing very well. And even when they lost the man and they went down to 10 men, they still looked. They probably looked better with 10 men than they did with 11. But what it comes to is that if you lose the second man and you're down to 9 men, and you end up playing against Tottenham, they're literally gonna end up getting over. You're gonna get overrun with passes, shots, just dominated overall. Which for me, I'm looking at it. Liverpool are very unlucky to get done by the referee. And there was a good point that you brought up on Lahore, which is very important. Is that a lot of 50-50s You said we're going
Yeah, I don't know why.
towards
I
the.
don't know. I really have no idea why that happened.
But
Like, why was the referee doing all the 50-50s for Spurs? And I'm like, am I missing
it,
something here, or I really didn't
it
understand it.
could be. Listen, it could be a conspiracy theory. I mean,
It's not. It's not. I
there's
believe it's
this.
not, and I refuse to believe it is a conspiracy theory. I
Hmm.
refuse to believe this. Um, it is something that is not right. It just I don't know what happened, but it wasn't great. The game was ridiculously managed in a terrible way, and I don't know why though. Like,
But the thing is, the decision ruined the game, unfortunately, because that could have been a good game.
yeah, I really
From
wanted to see
from
the game. I really wanted to see the game.
I wanted to see how, because Liverpool, when it first started and they were 11 versus 11, you could still see that Liverpool were, like you said, beating the press. They were managing to get out of it and get shots on goal. Yeah,
hundred
which
percent.
which for me was good. They did what we couldn't. They literally were able to beat what Tottenham were trying to do. And to be honest, even in the first half of our game, I don't think we were doing that bad. I think we were still managing to put the pressure
Yes, you did.
on Spurs.
But
But
you didn't capitalize on mistakes though.
yeah, we didn't. But
There's a
that's because
difference between you and I thought Liverpool would capitalize on the mistakes, but they didn't.
I think which shot kills me, man, is that the one from, I think I said it yesterday on Never a Foul. The one from Diaz, man. You know when Salah put that ball in and then Diaz was at the back, not the back post, but he was running in and then
Yeah,
he slid for it and missed it. Oh my god. When that happened, I was like, he's missed it. I thought he hit it and it's gone in, and my TV was just looking weird. But I can't believe he missed that. He was stretching for it as well, that goal. But
yeah, but Salah
yeah,
was. People want to knock Salah out. On He was freaking great.
he was phenomenal.
Yeah,
He
but
was,
people just don't want
if
to.
if that game ended 1-1, I would have given the man of the match probably to, it was between Salah, Van Dijk, and Allison. And I think
Yeah,
Salah would have just got it just because of how much he was doing. He was on the left, he was on the right, he was everywhere, bro. This guy was everywhere, doing everything. So, and at some point, they had to just start hoofing it up to him. It's unfortunate because if they hadn't gone down to 9 men, then the red card, once they go down to 9 men, you have to. I feel like, for me, I feel like Klopp made the right decision in order to take off the attackers and bring on the midfielders and defenders. That was the
yeah.
right decision because you have to try at that point. If you counter attack the second time you counter attack, you're finished. You leave too much space in behind, and Son will kill you. Madison will put a ball through. One of them, Kulisevsky or Son, will kill you. And it was the right decision from him to bring on these midfielders, defenders, because you have to try and fight for something now. Once you lose all those players, you have to fight for something now. We have to keep the point, and then we move on to the next game. But yeah, like you said, poor officiating, poor refereeing,
It's very
um,
poor.
and yeah, it's just it's not good enough. And the thing is, there's not going to be any consequence for this except for them apologizing. Maybe the referee gets
He's gonna get
put on
banned for sure.
leave.
100%. He's gonna get
No, no,
banned.
he's gonna get unpaid leave, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
they'll bring him back. They'll bring him back. They will bring him back.
Well, yeah, it's like mistakes happen. It's not his fault. It's actually not his completely fault. Like, just we have to understand that call wasn't his fault.
So what about the no no?
The VAR people are the people that.
That's what I'm talking about when I say the referee. I'm talking about. Sorry, I should have put a bit more information there. I'm talking about the VAR referees. They're gonna be probably put on unpaid leave. They made a mistake. We've dismissed them. They're on unpaid leave at the moment, and then they're gonna come back. It happened the same thing with Lee Mason. Same thing
Yeah.
with Lee Mason when he made that mistake in the Brentford game. He got put on unpaid leave. They brought him back at the end of the season, start of new season, and then now he's training referees to use VAR. Does it make sense? You can't win with these people. You can't win with this refereeing at all because they'll just keep on making the same mistakes, and they just, for me, it doesn't work out. It doesn't make sense. Wallah.
Anyway, well, listen, they have to just live with it. You know what I mean? Like, just it is what it is.
Yeah,
There's no
100%.
solution for it. That's the thing.
No,
That's the thing. There's
100%.
no solution for it.
Hmm.
Now, moving on
Anyway,
from that, that game. Let's talk about the football then. The football was good from Spurs. It was very good, actually. I have to
hmm,
say. Listen, I can't judge the football from Liverpool because they actually only had 26 minutes with 11 men.
yeah, yeah,
I'm not going to talk about. I can talk about the resilience of Liverpool. I can talk about the genius of Jurgen Klopp trying to put everybody behind the ball and trying to play football. But I need to talk about Spurs, how they move the ball around, how Bissouma and Sarr really do really well in that midfield, how Madison is the ultimate number 10, in my opinion. He is for me, he is the ultimate number 10. That's people don't want to believe me. It's for me, it is that what I believe. I'm not gonna change my mind until this guy falls off or something.
hmm,
But for me, he is great. I feel like Spurs were actually very good in terms of moving the ball around,
yeah.
um, going from right to left. Kulusevski looked toward right. I am not gonna talk about the freaking Richarlison. So let's just
Me
talk.
and you disagree on that one for some weird reason. I feel like he was when he was on that left side. I feel like he was doing good. I genuinely
He's doing all
you
right. He's not
but
great.
but no, but you're talking about when he goes into the middle. But on that left side, he was playing good, man. He wasn't doing bad. Not
He was
as
all
he
right.
normally is.
He
Normally
wa-
he's invisible.
My problem with him is I don't know how to explain this. My problem with Richarlison is that I believe a footballer should have an ability as a winger or a forward to take on a man, have a better touch, be able to pass. Richarlison doesn't know how to. Okay, so Richarlison isn't elite in anything. He's not elite in finishing. He's not elite in first touch. He's not elite in dribbling. He isn't elite in movement. Okay, he's not. Tell me.
You
Stop me if
know,
I'm wrong. Stop me if I'm wrong. He isn't
no, but
elite in anything.
this, you know what the perfect saying for Richarlison, what you're trying to say, yeah? He's the
Yeah.
jack of all trades and the master of
Yeah,
none.
but the problem is he's not even the jack of all trades. That's the
Would you?
problem. He's not good at any of them. He's not quick. Okay, so what's his name? Nunes is so quick, right?
Hmm,
At least he's elite in this. He's the quickest probably player in the Premier League
hmm,
with what's his name with Mudrik.
hmm.
Richarlison isn't like he isn't the jack of all trades. He's not good at these things. He isn't. Okay, let me ask you a straight question. Do you think Richarlison is a better finisher than Edin Ketia?
No,
Okay, do you think Richarlison is a better dribbler than Edin Ketia?
no,
Do you think Richarlison is better in positioning than Edin Ketia?
no.
Do you think
He,
Richarlison is
he,
quicker? Last question. Do you think Richarlison is quicker than Edin Ketia?
definitely not. No,
That's it. Done. I'm over. You don't even rate Edin Ketia. I'm over.
I don't, I
Conversation
don't, I don't
done.
rate it. I don't rate Nketiah. And the thing is, for me, Richarlison is bad. I think he's terrible as a footballer. Just as down to the footballing sense of it. Listen, he's terrible. But what I'm saying is, sometimes a bad footballer can have a good game. Sometimes they can. You
Yes,
know,
yes.
they
He
can go
had an
back to
okay
being,
game yesterday. Of course. Of course, he had a good
yeah,
game. But I'm telling you, if Spurs had a decent striker at the end of the game instead of Richarlison, they maybe would have made something better happen instead of having an own goal. I know you don't want
yeah.
to. I know you don't believe that, but it is just my. It's my opinion that is maybe not to everybody's liking, but it
But
is.
you know who I do want to speak about though,
Yep.
Saar. I want to speak about Saar because
People called me crazy though.
he's got a shot on him, man.
Oh yeah.
His shot is powerful, man. I saw him loading it up yesterday, and he took that shot and it's like, it's like a freaking shotgun, man, a bullet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And listen, if he can improve that, not saying that I want him to improve that, But if he can improve that, he can become. I have. Who can I compare him to, man? Who can I compare him to? He's got that shot on him, man. Just the strong shot that gets him, but it gets into the goal. You know, the power shots,
Yes.
low driven strength shot. Listen, he's definitely got a bright future ahead of him. Hopefully, nothing happens. Hopefully, he doesn't play well because fuck Tottenham and that. But yeah, no, he's a good player. He's a good player. I can't lie to you. It does hurt, and I don't know where they got him from. Is he part of the academy or is he?
I actually don't know, believe it or not.
Uh, I'm just gonna double check because I want to see where they bought him from. Let's see. Okay. They bought him from Mets. Mets.
Right?
And then he went, okay, so they bought him in 2021 and then he went back on loan to
Okay.
Mets, and then he came back at the end of the season last year, and then he was playing. He playing for them now. So listen, so far he looks good. He's fitted into the whole system that they've got going. He's fitted into the system of the passing, and he's that player that you could Basuma can control the game. I feel like from this there midfield because you got Madison. Obviously, you're saying he's the complete 10. I still think that Odegaard is better than him. And I know if we're going to get into argument about that, but I think that Odegaard's better than him just based off of the ceiling, the levels that Odegaard can reach. I don't think Madison can reach that. He's also been playing at the top level for longer. But him, obviously, you have Madison. He's the 10 of this team.
Yeah, Madison is
Everything goes through him.
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm never gonna say he's not fantastic. I still rate him very highly. I just not to the level of Odegaard. Anyway, you have Basuma, who controls everything. He's there to do the dirty work. If he needs to get into a tackle, get that ball back, he'll get that ball back. And then you have Sarr, who's the powerful midfielder who's silky smooth. He can go through and then shoot, let one rip. And to be honest, if they keep going with this midfield, I think this midfield could become very good in the Premier League. Just the way Ange wants them to play, and we heard about this anyway. I knew that when Ange came to that club, he is a manager who works on his pressing in the games, and he also is a manager who picks out players that not normally they're not watched by other clubs. Even at Celtic, he done the exact same thing. He brought in that
I never
Japanese.
watched him at Celtic, so I have no idea what people talk about, to be honest.
No, but in Celtic, I think he brought in this Japanese kid that no one was looking at, and he turned out to be very good. And they say that his talent ID is very good, which is a massive plus for Tottenham because
I
a
don't think
manager with
Sarr
good
is
talent
not
ID.
his player. Sarr was different.
No, but I'm just saying for he has a very good talent ID, and for the players that he's gonna bring in, that's a good thing for Tottenham because a manager with elite talent ID is the best thing you can get.
Yeah.
And he looks like he can manage them anyway because he's got a style of play. We saw this, unlike other managers who play for other clubs in the north of Manchester, in the red side that can't find a style of play after a season. He's found a style of play within what 1 month and a half.
Yeah, a month and a
We can
half or
see
something, and then they can see exactly what they're doing, bro.
exactly.
It's
It is
ridiculous.
it's literally like we've seen the playbook. So I mean, big ups to him on a non-biased level. Big up, big ups to him. Um, what's this here? Basuma yesterday was elite. I hope Rice taking us. Nah. No. Let's not compare him to Rice. There's no. I think Rice is much better than Basuma, man. I can't lie.
Based on the
I don't.
first 6 games.
No,
No, you
just,
can
just
say
based on
that.
experience. Just based on experience. I
Yeah.
base it on experience, based on how long he's had in the league, and based on what he's done at the top level. When I say at the top level, listen, he's won a European trophy. Let's not forget this. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
also been in the league for a
But
minute.
I
He
wanna
knows
tell you
how to
something honestly, right? If I'm choosing a team tomorrow, not looking at the future, not looking England, not looking at anything. Tomorrow, I choose Bissouma for me. After 7 games in the Premier League,
Yeah. So
and
you're
I'm
basing it.
being completely honest. 7 games, two teams play position-based football.
Mm,
Okay, two teams play kind of similar, a little bit similar. You play position-based football. I believe Arsenal are more direct.
mm.
You Bissouma kind of like gets the ball and dwells on it, pass the ball around. Rice gets the ball, get Odegaard in, get Jesus in, get Saka in. But if I'm choosing a midfield tomorrow, I'm choosing Bissouma. It's not nothing
I
against
can
Rice or
say
anything. Rice has been amazing. Rice has played for England. Rice has done that. Rice has done this. Based on the first 7 games, Bissouma has been elite DM in the league. Elite, and it's to be honest, I want to tell you that he has been absolutely phenomenal to the point that he is one of the reasons this team has been revolutionized like this. Like they have been. He's. I don't know where he comes from. Where did this come from? I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, they're
he can,
comparable.
yeah, yeah.
Now I don't know how can you transform within a month or two. Every time he came on the pitch last year, he made free kicks, he made fouls, he couldn't control the ball. Somehow,
It's
it's the
some
manager. Probably
no,
has
no.
to be the manager, right?
It's the managers because you have Conte who his football is very negative. You know, they say it's negative football. Uh,
Yeah.
park the bus. And with Basuma, you see that all he needs is a creative system around him, a creative system that can unlock stuff in him that we maybe haven't seen yet. Stuff that we saw. He looks like the player that he was at Brighton now, probably even better. I'd say
Yeah.
even better than he was at Brighton, to be honest. But overall, the manager's definitely bought in because Ahmed said it here. He said the recruitment from Spurs is mad, getting Udoji, Sarr, Basuma, and the keeper. You know, the keeper, I need to speak. I need to speak about this keeper. Vicario is his name, innit?
Yeah, I don't
That,
like him.
that double save that he made, though, was crazy. Wallah, it was crazy.
I feel he's all right. Yeah.
No, but he's once he gets used to the league, he looks like he's got
Maybe. He
potential.
looks
He's got
uncomfortable,
potential.
isn't he?
He does. He has a look like that, and I thought he looked like that against us when he played against us. He looks very uncomfortable when he's approached by attackers. But I realized I think that's just the way he looks. I don't think he's genuinely uncomfortable.
Hmm.
I think just how some people just look like, for instance, Rafael Leao. Some
No.
people say he looks lazy on the ball, yeah,
Yeah,
like
but
he
he
walks
is
all the
lazy. He
time.
is lazy.
No, he's not lazy. He's not. He's
Rafael
not.
Leao is lazy. I'm
No,
telling
no,
you,
no, he's not. He's not.
he's a phase player.
Mo, when it comes to him having to do something,
Yes,
he'll
but that's
he'll
what I'm
he'll,
telling you.
he'll
He's a
automatically
phases
get
player. Sad. He's a phases player. What I mean is a phases player. Like the game can go past him for 20 minutes, but then he will come something crazy and he will do something crazy. He will win you the game, but the game goes past him for 20 minutes. He's that guy. Rafael Leao sometimes phases out of the game. Thinks about his girlfriend, thinks about his vacation or something. I don't know what it is, bro. A problem is that happens, bro.
yeah. No, listen. I think okay. Okay. The game kind of passes him, but he's still the fact that he's able to pull out something out just randomly out of
Yeah,
nowhere
yeah, of course.
is
That
still
it's not
very valuable.
a lot of people don't have that. So yes, you're
Yeah,
right, hundred
no,
percent.
I rate him, man. I rate him. He
I
said
love
that's
Rafael
my
Leao. I think he's one of the best wingers in the world.
in the world is crazy, isn't it?
It
Uh,
is
can
actually.
he
He is
compete
one of
with
the best
Saka?
wingers in the world. He's
Can
top
he
10,
compete with? Can he? Okay, top 10. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
top 10, top
Sorry.
10
When
wingers in the world. Yes,
when you say best wingers in the world,
left.
one
Like
of
I believe it's
okay.
like okay. What you said about him is something that he can win you the game. He can literally get something out of the bag and win you the game. He single-handedly won Milan the league 2 years
Mm,
ago. Single-handedly, bro. It was Rafael Leao and inshallah, bro. It's give Rafael Leao the ball and hope he does something. And he delivered. Every game. They won 7 games in a row with Rafael Leao winning them the games. It's
mm,
crazy. He is crazy. People have to double on him. He is ridiculously crazy. It's
You,
unbelievable.
where Rafael Leao does piss me off though in the game against Newcastle. You know when he done that beautiful run,
And
he
dribbled
ran through
one, dribbled
players
the second, dribbled the
and
third.
then
Freaking shoot the
what is
ball.
that shit? Just shoot the ball. He does some back heel. I'm like, come on, brother. You've just done all of the hard work,
Mm.
everything, all of the hard work. Ahmed is going on a crazy one. He said that's why he's doing so well with all these players that know the system. He said you can't compare my captain Odegaard to Madison. Just last season he was fighting relegation. You get
Ahmed, bro,
I
I
agree.
see football with my eyes. Martin Odegaard, and I keep saying that the game goes past him sometimes. Madison is always involved. I'm not, see, this is not a slander. Martin Odegaard is a fantastic player, but it's a personal preference. For me, they are both like this, but personal preference, I would choose Madison. Maybe some people would choose Odegaard. So it doesn't have to be black and white. It doesn't have to. Football isn't black and white. Some people prefer Rice. Some people prefer Bissouma. Some people prefer Rodri. Some people prefer something else. So it's not black. Some people like Martinelli. Some people like Trossard. It is not black. Football doesn't have to be black and white. People just
Trossard's
think,
wicked.
huh?
Trossard's wicked, man. I love Trossard. I'm so Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah for Chelsea. The fact that they came through and bought him so we could buy Trossard, the best thing that's ever happened, man. Look at this one, Mo. This last one from him. He's coming up back against us. He says, Saad, I don't understand why you say this style of play thing. United clearly have a style of play and it's possession based.
It's only last game.
It's this diamond thing that he's playing now, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's only
He
last
is
game.
he's been playing it 2 games in a row.
Let me tell
Where
you.
was it? Where was it the other 30 something games where
Let
he's
me
not?
tell you.
Yeah, I
Manchester United have 51 ball position average this season. How can you tell me Chelsea have 67, Manchester City 66.5, okay, Brighton 62, Arsenal 62, Spurs 60, Liverpool and Man United aren't position based teams. Oh, Liverpool were unlucky in 2 games being getting recorded, but Man United aren't position based team anymore. That's not what you're doing. So
they
stop
can't.
that.
I've said this hundreds of times.
They were
Man
last year,
United
by the
are
way. They were last
yeah,
year.
but Mo, this season they look like a counter-attacking team. They
They're
work
not
off
a
the
counter
they
attacking.
work
They're a
off the
50-50
breaks.
team. They're
No,
do
they
you know
work
when
off
a
the
team
breaks a
yeah,
lot.
do you know
They
when a
get
team start plays I don't know how to say it in English. You know when a team plays is like Allah. When the
yeah.
attack happens,
They
we'll see how it goes.
inshallah,
You
inshallah.
know, we'll see how it goes and we'll go from there. I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's ridiculous how
They
Man United
used
play.
they used to say because they used to say this before. They used to say that Man United is Rashford. Well, inshallah,
It is Rashford and
Rashford
inshallah.
and inshallah. They pass it to Rashford. Inshallah, something will happen.
Yeah.
Something.
They used to
We
be
keep
like
on passing the ball to him, and something will happen. And even now, that's the same thing that happened yesterday. The exact same thing that happened yesterday. And I know we'll get to that game now, but because I know you have a few things to say because you didn't say them in the last stream, but Rashford and
Can
inshallah.
you explain hug ball? Hug ball was nothing. This is it. Let me get to Man United. What is hug ball? Hug ball was supposed to be quick passing, moving from defense to forward in the quickest way, isolating the wingers, play the tiki-taka football, the midfielders continue inside the 18, which is what we saw last year a little bit, at home at least. Now this year, it completely regressed to I don't know what we're doing. We're just gonna come. We're gonna play whatever the attack is happening. Because you're watching Man United and you're asking Man United, what is it? When asking Man United, can you explain to me what is Man United? You can ask Arsenal, position-based team, try to press, high press, build from the back, try to get Saka and Odegaard on the same side try to create a one-on-one situation. That's Arsenal Football Club. Manch
And even sometimes when you keep on
or
pressing that
Martinelli,
Saka,
yeah.
no, but you keep on pressing that Saka and that Odegaard combination, and then it opens up so much space for the left player.
Yes,
Sometimes Martinelli is just in acres of space by himself. He's like, pass me the
Spurs,
ball.
I'm gonna tell you every team. Spurs in the league is a slow build up, very slow build up. Bissouma moving between the lines, trying to attract the opposition and then break that line with a pass to Madison between the midfield and the defense and create situations when they are even numbers with the defense. So that's
Okay.
it. Man City is position based team, pass, pass, pass until you get a cross far post or you get a player to dribble on the side like Doku now.
Yeah.
Who else? Liverpool Football Club. They used to be a high pressing team, high energy team, suffocating the oppositions all the time, right? And that diagonal ball to Diaz and Salah to isolate them. That's Liverpool. This year it's high energy as well, but they had 2 games where they had red cards, so I can't judge them.
And you know,
You
uh,
so the
Lookman,
twisted so
Lookman,
the answer to that question twisted.
mm,
What is this? But then
no,
why do we?
Lookman said,
Yeah, but the teams are impressing them, but they aren't even a position-based team. Based on the stats say that. Man United aren't a position-based team. The stats say that your average position in the games is 50%, 51%. That means
what's
you are
Arsenal's?
sharing the position.
What's Arsenal's? Because Arsenal is
60
actually a
something,
possession
60
based
something, 60
based
something,
team.
60
So
something.
you can see you have to have, if you have possession, then the stats will show you you'll
There
be
are
in
4 teams that are
contention with the
position-based
other
team in the
teams that
league.
are possession
Four
based.
teams that are position-based teams: Man City, Arsenal Football Club, Brighton,
Yeah,
and Spurs in
Brighton
in this
Spurs.
year.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. Everybody else hangs between the 52, 48, blah blah blah, all this stuff.
I'd
So
say no. I'd say Newcastle sometimes.
no, they aren't. Not this
Sometimes
year.
they can play.
Yes, but not this year.
Okay, yeah, yeah, fair enough.
Not this year. The stats don't lie.
Hmm.
So do you need a style of play to be successful? Define successful. No, you don't. If your target is top four, no, you don't. You don't. If your target is only top four and making European football, you don't. You can win games when they come. You know, like you beat what's in front of you. You defend a game, you attack a game, you counter attack a game.
Hmm.
Pep Guardiola proved that when you play against Pep Guardiola, you have to have a system that works 90% of the games, which is what Arsenal did last year, which is what Liverpool did when they won the league before. You cannot just play because you'll need to get 90 plus points to win the league. Remember, Manchester City last year threw out the last 2 games because they already
Yeah.
won the league. Man City could have had 90 plus points again, but they threw out the last 2 games. So you have to have a style. You have to have a style. You have to have at least a
In
style
this
of play
in this league,
in
in
this
this
year.
league,
Yeah, in this
you
era
have
as
to.
well. Yeah, in this
Yeah,
era.
because it's so important now that the 4-4-2 which we saw previously has gone, and managers are using different formations, because before
Oh,
it was
Chelsea is a
standard
position-based team.
4-4-2.
Chelsea is the first actually. Chelsea is the highest in the league actually. They're a very position-based team.
But I feel like they have possession, but they do nothing with it.
They
They
try
create
because
loads
they
of,
don't have
they
they
create
don't have the
chances.
firepower.
They
They
don't
don't have the
have the,
firepower.
yeah, they don't have the
You
final
remember when I
finish.
said that, Chelsea are in a better place because at least Chelsea, they can get players that suit that system. If they start firing, it's good. You know, do you know what I mean? When you have a machine that works,
Mhm.
but it has a piece that is not
Missing.
working. If you
Yeah.
replace that piece, theoretically the machine should work. But if you have
But
a random machine, you don't know what thing to replace. That's a problem. But
but
anyway,
the problem, you know what? We'll if we hold off on Chelsea, Mo, because I do want to speak about that just in the end after we speak about Man United, because I actually want to speak about Chelsea, and because you got a lot of good points and I've got some points on Chelsea where they can improve, how they can improve, but I'll speak about that after. But let's just get into the Man United game and just speak
Ten
about
Hag
the
did nothing wrong. Ten Hag, other than maybe not giving right instructions to Rashford and Bruno, because I don't believe that any manager would ask Rashford to go dribble 3 guys in every play. No manager in their sanity would ask their player to try to dribble 3 players every time. That literally the guy was taking the ball, Marcus Rashford tried to dribble 3, 4 players. Why you're doing this? Like,
yeah.
why?
It
Bruno
doesn't
Fernandez, why you're slowing down the game?
Mm.
But why? Why you're slowing down the game? Yeah, Crystal Palace were deep and everything. Yes, he played some passes. I don't know. I actually don't know. I don't know what the solution is.
It's very hard to see what the solution is. Sorry, if I just go back to Twisted, yeah, Twisted. When the system is sussed out, that is when your manager is key, because that shows for a good manager or a decent manager to a world class manager. A world class manager, when his system is sussed out, he has a backup plan that would work for that exact team.
Yes,
For
you're
that
absolutely
exact
right.
team.
There is a big
And
example in the league. Did Zerbi. He doesn't have a plan B.
mhm, mhm,
He's a brilliant manager to create one system.
mhm. Yeah, 100%.
Okay,
I
so let me
completely
tell
agree.
you, this is gonna be crazy. Pep Guardiola back in the days had one system.
Yeah, yeah.
And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. He loses games. It doesn't. But that system worked in against 90% of the opposition.
Mm.
Okay. Pep Guardiola. That's why Pep Guardiola's system had to have the best players. That's have to have the best players. The Zerbi is the same. He has the Zerbi is Pep Guardiola at early stages. Has the perfect system, but remember he has Billy Gilmore. He has Veltman. He doesn't have world class Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, Kimmich, Philip Lahm, Schweinsteiger. You know what I mean? He doesn't have these guys. He doesn't have Thomas Muller.
But the thing is, Mo, yeah, because you know with Brighton, and I've said this a lot, I feel like Brighton are a team that already has a system that can work with any manager, yeah. But what I
That's
like
not
about
true.
no, no, they do, because even under Graham
Bro, they were
Potter,
fighting
the system was
relegation
working.
with Potter.
No, 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 he
It
managed
looked
it
all right
before
on
he
the
went.
eye. It looked all
Yeah,
right on the eye, but it
yeah,
wasn't
it
getting
looked
any results.
okay. But what I'm saying is, yeah, when he came in, he when De Zerbi came in, he improvised on that system and put in a bit of his own little he tinkered with it and put himself into that system. You know, he made that the Zerbi system. Yeah, he took the core of that system where it looked flashy
But you
and
don't
looked good
know.
on the
But the
eye,
Zerbi used to
and
play the
then
same as
he
Sassuolo sad. That's why he didn't take Graham Potter. This okay, let me tell you, Sassuolo, which is a weaker team in Italy, had a season when they had 63 goals scored and 60 goals scored against them
hmm,
because
is
he
that
doesn't have the good play. Like if you give the Zerbi this Pep team now, he would win the league.
hmm.
If he has
And
better players, he would win the league 100%.
and the thing is with De Zerbi as well. I mean, listen, I
Bro
rate
has
him
Adam
as a
Webster
manager,
and Dunk. Yeah, just
but no, but I rate him as a manager. But I'm sorry, Akhi. You're losing 6-1 to Aston Villa. It's
I know, but
very
because
dangerous.
he's very stubborn
Very
manager. Yeah,
dangerous.
he's a very stubborn manager. He didn't want to change the system, and I criticize him for that.
But sometimes,
As a good manager, you have to understand that sometimes the tools you have aren't the best tools, and you need to cater to these tools. And he didn't.
but can I not? Because obviously, I do agree with the fact that I say that that's what separates the good managers from the world class managers.
Yeah,
But I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. What happens if he sticks with that same system and say for instance they score 2 goals against us, it looks like they've got the system sussed out, but then the team ups itself a level and they end up winning the game anyway, and the system worked because he stuck with it and he just tinkered
yeah,
with it
it's
a
a
little.
risky game. It's a very risky game.
That could also happen. So you could, if that happens, we're then calling him a genius. We're like, oh my god, he stuck with the same system. He was managed to turn it around, even though the system was sussed out. You know, so it's very important to point out facts like that from where he plays the same system and he's very stubborn. And I agree with that with Pep Guardiola because he also had that where he had that one system. Um, and he wouldn't defer from that one system. He wouldn't.
Yeah,
He'd stick with it, even if they're losing. They lost that game. That's it. You just scratch that game off. They move on to the next game. They'll probably beat that team. But yeah, for me, listen. At the end of the day, if Ten Hag builds a system and it's sussed out, it is his job to have another system loaded up as backup just in case. We can't be giving Ten Hag an excuse just because his system got sussed out. Our system, why is I'll use Arteta as an example. Why is Arteta doing all this foolishness with Thomas Partey at right back and all of this Tom Yasu at left back? He's trying to find out if the system gets sussed out. He needs to have a backup. He needs to have something different because last season our system was getting sussed out. A lot of times our system was getting sussed out because people were like, okay, so they mostly going to Saka on the right. Let's double up on Saka.
Yeah.
Let's try and take Erdegaard out of the game. Let's see how that works. Yeah. And on the left, I think he's a better manager, Imran. 100%. 100%, I think Arteta is a better manager than Ten Hag.
Well, this season don't lie, and the season don't lie. But I thought Ten Hag was a better manager last year. Well, listen,
That's
this is
based
a whole.
off of
We can all a whole argument.
yeah. That's based off of winning. But overall, listen, I completely agree with you on the Man United game. I completely agree with
He
you.
didn't do it like he had 77% position. They isolated Rashford many times. He got the balls to the wingers. That's the manager's job. It's not. He's not going to put the ball at the back of the net.
But is it not more? It's more the personnel rather than the managers.
That game, the Crystal Palace game, yes, in my opinion,
it's definitely the personnel because I feel like the personnel is not able to do what he wants to do.
Yeah,
and the fact that Bruno Fernandes, as an experienced player, listen, it's poor.
It was very poor from them.
He's doing, and Rashford, but. Other than that, listen, I do want to speak about that Chelsea point that I wanted to bring up because I wanted to bring up something. It's very important because I know you say they're missing that final piece, yeah? A finisher, a striker. And they got this Nicholas Jackson who, let's face it, he's not finisher, man. He scored a goal in the Carabao Cup, but he's not finisher. But what I want to say is, given their history with strikers, Chelsea are a team that are known, they kill strikers. Yeah, they don't have they do. Listen, Mo, they do. They kill strikers, man. Lukaku went from Inter Milan firing goals, going crazy. They bought him from you guys. He went there.
Yeah,
he started off well, and they completely ruined him. So
yeah, somehow they ruined.
They did the same. They did same with Fernando Torres. Exact same thing.
Timo Werner. We can talk about Kai Havertz.
Timo Werner. No, Timo Werner was just disgraceful. I don't know how he was performing for RB Leipzig like that, and then he goes to Chelsea. And then it just becomes like he doesn't even know how to play football anymore. He doesn't even know how to touch the ball. I don't understand that one. I don't understand how that happened. But
I believe Jackson is a good player. He'll come good.
Do you?
Yeah. What I have reasons for that.
In regards to finishing?
Yes.
Because I'm thinking that right now Jackson is maybe a player that's holding the position. Because I think that Cole Palmer can hold and maintain that number 10 position, that position as a center attacking.
I don't know. It depends on the people behind him.
I've seen him. Apparently, he's played it before this position.
I never seen him as a 10.
Yeah, I've spoken to people who said, listen, he's played 10. He played well there. He's very creative. Apparently, he played there for England in the under 21s.
Under 21 is different in the Premier League. He might get eaten a lot.
Yeah.
He's a good player. He's a good player and everything.
But
I don't know if he can play a 10 or not. We haven't seen him.
But yeah, I think that position striker is being held for one man, and that's Christopher Nkunku. I think as soon as he comes back,
100%.
Nicholas Jackson bench
Madueke
player
as well.
And
sorry, Chokomeka.
Chokomeka. He's injured, is he right now?
Yeah, he's injured as well. He started the season brightly and then he got injured.
He was in that first game against Liverpool, wasn't it?
He was the guy.
He was playing very well. Yeah.
the guy that
No,
scored?
Disasi
Disasi
scored, didn't
scored from a free kick. Yeah, yeah,
he?
from
Yeah. But
anyway.
yeah, it's just it's a problem, man. It's an issue that's ongoing for Chelsea, man. I think that Nkunku is going to come back. Once he comes back, it will solve a lot of the problems they have in finishing goals
Yeah, yeah.
because he's a very clinical finisher. We saw that in the Bundesliga. I don't think they'll be able to ruin him because he looks confident, man. Even though he's had the injury, we'll see what happens with it.
Yes, 100
But
percent.
anyway, guys, make sure to like the video. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel. Mo's channels, both of them, Never a Foul and Judge Mo, will be in the description. I'll make sure to put them in the description. I would like to thank you all for joining us. We will be back for a match preview tomorrow, which we'll be doing for the game against Lens on in the Champions League. So we will be back for a match preview tomorrow. I'm gonna get some Arsenal fans and we'll come together and do a live stream. But thank you very much for joining us today, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Like the video. Thank you.